Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. We are, this is the official week of the book tour kickoff. We are 6 days away. I wanted to get on here and share some information about the book tour, get you all excited and just talk about it because I'm excited for the book tour. It launches on Saturday at the Sistah Shop at the Mills at Jersey Gardens in Elizabeth, New Jersey. So I am looking forward to seeing you all out. Look, I'm just so excited and thrilled to be able to kick off the tour for Surrender to Healing, Conquering Breast Cancer with Faith, Gratitude, and Confidence. So, you all, I'm gonna give a few more seconds for everyone to join. And as you're coming in, just give me a wave. Let me know that you're able to hear me, that you're out there, that you're watching. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about this. So I'll just give a few seconds. And while I'm waiting, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Latoya Cooper, for those who may not know me. I am a speaker, the author of Surrender to Healing, Conquering Breast Cancer with Faith, Gratitude, and Confidence. I am also an advocate coach where I help teach women how to effectively advocate for themselves personally, professionally, as well as when it comes to their health. And that's a real key factor. So, and I'm also a Tiger Lily Angel advocate. I'm very excited to be working with the Tiger Lily organization as an advocate in the Philadelphia area. And what we do is we help provide health education and support for young women before, doing, and after a breast cancer diagnosis. So I'm excited to be in that role as well, here partnering with community organizations here in the Philadelphia area. So we are going to talk about the book tour, what you can expect from the book tour, and I just want to share some information about my book. So I thank you all for joining me tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and get started because I do appreciate your time and for you to take the time out to watch me. So I do appreciate that, and I thank you so much for doing that. So as I mentioned, the book tour is this Saturday. The kickoff is this Saturday. Look, I'm so excited. It's this Saturday. It's from 12 to 2. It's at the Sistah Shop at the Mills at Jersey Gardens in Elizabeth, New Jersey. So if you're coming out, make sure you arrive early so that you can find parking and also get inside the mall so you can get to the store and be there on time to be a part of this fun and educational opportunity as well. You know, sometimes when we hear about education, we're like, oh, we're going to shy away from it, but definitely want to make this a fun and enjoyable event and also just share the knowledge around breast health as well as just the sisterhood and the women empowerment by sharing and checking up on our sisters when it comes to our health, especially our breast health and fertility. So again, thank you all for joining me. And let's go ahead. Look, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this book tour. So, as you know, the name of my book is called Surrender to Healing. That is the main title of the book. And one of the essential themes or topic of the book is about shifting from surviving to thriving. And it's not just about shifting when you're in a fight for your life, but it's making that shift on an everyday scheme or everyday basis. You know, because sometimes we just hit rough patches during our day, throughout our week, and it could cause us to become stuck. It could cause us to feel like we're swimming against the current. So, one of the central themes of the book is about making that shift. How do I shift from surviving into thriving? And how do I continue to thrive regardless of what's going on in my life and what's going on around me? And also, how can I pull those people up around me to make that shift as well? And the key thing is it starts with one person. It really do. It starts with one person, that positive energy, that positive attitude, and the shift will continuously occur as long as you stay rooted and grounded in making that positive move every single day. So, surrender to healing is not just a one time thing, it's something that you have to do every single day. It's a choice, I should say. It's a choice that you have to make every single day. You know what? I'm going to get up today. I'm going to be the best that I can be. If there are things that come up and happen, I will work through it. I will not allow it to get me down, But most importantly, I will not allow it to keep me down. That's the key piece, because sometimes we can get caught up in things and it just keeps us down and it drags us down. So we're going to be talking about that at the book tour. And I also share steps in my book on how to make that shift, and make it stick. And that's one of the things that I definitely had to learn after being diagnosed with breast cancer and going through the treatment, because there were so many different times throughout the journey where I just fell down, or, the treatment was just overwhelming and it was hard. And I didn't want to get into that place of feeling sad constantly for myself. I still wanted to maintain an upbeat attitude. So that's one of the topics we're going to talk about as well. And then another key piece is how to elevate faith over fear. So I'm going to share with you a passage from my book in terms of elevating faith over fear. So, and this is in chapter 1 of the book, Faith and Fear. Have you ever wondered if faith and fear can coexist? This was a defining moment during which I had faith and I believed, but there was also fear of the unknown and what was to come. Receiving a cancer diagnosis is devastating for you and your family. Not knowing whether you'll live or die, if treatment will work, or how you will function are all reasons to fear, and it makes you want to question everything about how and why you're at this point in your life. So that's one of the things I wanted to share, is because when things like a breast cancer diagnosis or something hard happens in your life, you lean on fear sometimes. So I share this to say that there are ways that you can still step into your faith. You can still be fearful, but you don't have to live in that fear. And I'm going to admit, there were moments where I was fearful. I didn't, especially when I received the diagnosis. It wasn't just all faith. It was moments where I felt fearful because there were so many unknowns. But the key thing is focusing and leaning on your faith. So I knew that whatever was to come, fear had to be defeated. This was my moment to choose faith, leaning on God. Trusting my thoughts of love and compassion that are in my heart, I knew I was not alone in this fight. Recalling that I had been through so much in my life, so much stuff in my life, this moment was just another speed bump, a chance to allow God to show up and show out however He met. This very day, I learned to fully surrender and completely trust in His word and in His love for me. So that was the passage from my book. And when I surrendered, one of the things that I realized I was releasing is control. Control plays a huge role in fear. It plays a huge role in why we fear. And it's mainly because if we feel like we don't know what's going on, we don't have any control over it, fear pops up. So one of the things I want to share with you is that when that fear pops up, you have to work through it. Meaning you have to ask yourself, why do I fear? Why do I fear this? What is it that I fear? Is it something that happened in my past? Is it something that happened to someone else? Like, what are the reasons that's causing me to fear? And the big thing about control is that there's things that we feel like we have to have control over. And what I learned and I want to share with you is that receiving a breast cancer diagnosis, I realized I didn't have control. My husband couldn't do anything to take away the diagnosis. I couldn't call my mom or my dad to say, hey, can y'all do something about this? No person here could help me but God. So I had to turn to my faith. And by turning to my faith, it helped to reduce that fear so that I could better open my eyes, but open my heart and my mind, my thoughts to understand how to move through this. And there are going to be times in your life where you are going to be chosen for something that you don't want, that you didn't ask for, that you didn't expect to happen, and it's going to happen to you. So, how do you move through that moment when it happens? Do I coward in fear? I don't want to say coward in fear, but do I rely on fear and move through it timidly? Or do I, step into this in faith and just see what the outcome is going to be? Because you have to release control. That's the other key piece. There are things in your life that's going to happen that you're going to have absolutely no control over. So this is another reason why this bookstore is completely important to me, is because as I share my story, I also share what I went through, but how I allowed myself to surrender, how I allowed myself to give up control, how I allowed myself to be in that moment. And I just want to help, women out there. If you're going through something, you don't have to go through it alone. That's one. And then the second thing is, there are steps and measures that you can take to help you to take a step back, to understand what's going on, so you can just grasp it a little bit. Sometimes you just got to grasp it a little bit, even if you don't fully and completely understand it. So that's another key central theme of the book is, again, how do I shift from surviving to thriving while releasing that control and entrusting the faith, trusting myself to make the best decisions for me. And also just being honest and open about it, relying on the resources that are available for you, but most importantly, leaning into your faith. So that's one of the things I wanted to share as well. And I lost my thought for a moment. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about something. So when you're navigating what's not for you, sometimes, you may not fully understand it. And it's okay to not understand it. I know one of the things that I said at the beginning of the diagnosis before I started treatment was, I knew that this wasn't just about me. And I felt that and I believed that. And here I am, here on the other side, as a survivor, as a thriver, sharing my story, helping other young women to go through this journey, helping other families to go through this journey. And I'm grateful to be here to be able to share my story, but I'm also grateful to allow God to use me to help bless others and to help just provide that positive support, that empathetic, just getting in, meeting people where they are so they can understand the situation that they're going through. So this book tour is very important to me. And I know we're going to talk about breast health, we're going to talk about fertility, but we're also going to talk about how we can continue to engage each other so that we could put our health first. For when it comes to breast cancer, Black women were being diagnosed at younger and younger ages. And that's, when I say younger ages, that's before the age of being screened, which is 40. So we're being diagnosed at younger ages, and we're also being diagnosed at a more aggressive stage of cancer when we are diagnosed. And the mortality rate is the highest among any other race. Those three things right there is a reason to call up your mom, your sister, your cousin, your family, and say, hey, sis, hey, family, have you had your mammogram this year? Have you performed your self-breast exams? And to start having the conversation around breast health, because breast cancer, it's a high mortality rate in the Black community when it comes to African American women. So that's the other piece, is just to share that sisterhood, to open a door that the conversation is safe and it's okay to talk about your breast health. It's okay to talk about fertility. It's okay to talk about doing IVF if you're unable to conceive. There are other options out there for you as well. And I talk about fertility in my book, just in case you may be wondering why I'm going off on that angle. But fertility was one of the things that I found out that was related to breast cancer, in terms of being a woman of childbearing age, going through the treatment like chemo, that it could affect your fertility. So we're going to talk about fertility. And one of the things I'm realizing is that breast cancer and fertility are two conversations that we don't have often in the Black community. And I'll be honest with you, when it came to write my book, I really didn't want to write about fertility. It was an emotional experience. But again, I knew it wasn't about me. I knew it had to be in the book. So I just swallowed what I was going through in the moment. But I also took the time to walk through the steps and the measures to prepare myself to write the chapter about fertility and how it affected me, and how to help other women who may be faced with the challenge of both breast cancer and making decisions regarding your fertility as well. So those are two other things in the book also. So book tour is this Saturday. I'm excited. We are going to have a great time. I hope you come out and you join us. It's from 12 to 2. And the other thing I want to share, if okay, I hope. Okay, let me know if I'm back because my phone just kicked me off. Okay, I think I'm back. My phone just kicked me off of the live. So if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up or wave and let me know that I'm back. It just popped up. So what I was sharing is that if you're asking yourself, why should you come to the book tour? Breast cancer doesn't affect me. Um, what's the reason I should come, especially if breast cancer? Okay, thank you for letting me know you can still hear me. So if you're asking yourself, why should you come to this book tour? Breast cancer hasn't affected you. Look, I understand, but it's more than just breast cancer that we're going to be discussing at this book signing. It is about breast health. It's about checking in on each other. It's about life in general. How do we make those shifts so that we can be the best person that we want to be each and every day of our lives? It's about leaning on your faith and trusting yourself and learning how to trust yourself. Having that gratitude to show up in spaces and also to be your best self. And then walking into those spaces as your confident, authentic self. So it's more than just about breast cancer. It encompasses breast health and also being the best person that you can be. So, and I just want to help educate, do my part in educating our communities, educating our families so that we can be more aware of what's going on with our health within our communities and within our families. And also start sharing this with our younger ladies, with our teenagers and our young adults, helping them to understand the importance of doing your self breast exams, especially 7 to 10 days after your cycle. Understand the importance of getting to know your body. That's another key piece, getting to know your body. So if something does pop up, you can know whether or not, okay, this is normal for my body. This happens around this time of the month or whatnot, or this is something I need to go get checked on. It's also about building those relationships with your doctor. So making sure you have a GYN where you can go and have your clinical breast exams performed before the age of 40. It's also having a relationship with your primary care doctor so they can check on your do your blood work yearly, have your physical. So it's more than just breast cancer. It's the overall you and the importance of you as a woman, as you as a person here. So I'm excited about this book tour, and I really hope that I'll see you out on Saturday. You can go to surrendertohealingbook.com in order to find out more information about this tour and to go ahead and register and let me know that you're coming. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing time. So if anyone have any questions, please drop them in the chat. But I do thank you for taking the time to hop on this live tonight, or if you're catching this on a replay, and just listening to what's coming up on this Saturday. So I'll just hang around for a few moments just to see if there's any questions that pop up. If you have questions regarding the book tour or just questions in general. And you can also purchase a copy of my book, Surrender to Healing. Here it goes. Surrender to Healing, Conquering Breast Cancer with Faith, Gratitude, and Confidence at surrendertohealingbook.com. So you can get more information about the book tour on my website, as well as information about the book. So first stop is Jersey, and then we'll head on out from there. But the first stop is Jersey on this Saturday, and I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching, everyone.